Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is the first news on 10th March newspaper front page dawn. Cabinet confident of winning top Senate slots. Shibli does not rule out offer to JUIF. Opposition says government trying to divide PDM. Prime Minister terms e-voting vital for transparency in next polls by Syed Irfan Raza. Islamabad Information Minister Shibli Faraz Tuesday did not rule out the government's offer of the Senate Deputy Chairman slot into the Jamiatul Islam for the JUIF, as the federal cabinet expressed its confidence of winning the upcoming elections for the two coveted offices of Upper House on March 12. The opposition termed the offer an attempt to create cracks within the Pakistan Democratic Movement, PDM. On Monday, a senior government representative had said that Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf PTI was not announcing its candidate for the office of deputy chairman and was keeping the slot open to place itself in a better bargaining position. On the other hand, Prime Minister Imran Khan said electronic voting was essential to ensure transparency in the next general elections and directed the relevant authorities to prepare a feasibility report of the process on priority basis. Something has to be done to accomplish the task, the information minister said while responding to a question during his press briefing following the cabinet meeting that why the government had offered Senate Deputy Chairman to JUIF. He, however, said nothing was clear about the elections at the moment. The minister said the prime minister and the cabinet were confident that the uh, government government's candidate and incumbent Senate Chairman Sadiq Sancharani would be successful. Earlier, while presiding over the federal cabinet meeting, Prime Minister Khan said all necessary actions would be taken to end corruption in elections as witnessed in the recently held Senate polls. We want the next general elections to be fair and transparent and therefore want to initiate the e-voting process well ahead of time, he said. Prime Minister Khan also directed that details be worked out to purchase electronic voting machines, saying that he would get regular updates on the matter. He said the introduction of online voting for overseas Pakistanis was also a top priority, adding that the Senate elections exposed how political leaders used money to buy votes. He said politicians, including Asif Ali Zardari and Nawaz Sharif, transferred the national wealth to their bank accounts abroad through money laundering. He mentioned a report of the Financial Accountability, Transparency and Integrity FACTI, which revealed that $1 trillion was taken out each year from the countries to developed states. Presently, he said, $7 trillion of the stolen assets was parked in these safe havens, causing irreparable loss to developing countries such as Pakistan. The Prime Minister said money laundering severely weakened the country's institutions, adding that during past 10 years, the ruling parties launched projects with mega tricks, kickbacks, as a result of which the common man said the price in the form of inflation and heavy loans. The common man paid the price in the form of inflation and heavy loans. Such politicians normalize corruption in a society bribe media houses and remove checks and balances to ease their money laundering chain, he added. Mr. Khan said our society, which set such standards of corruption, suffered ethical downfall and was destroyed after losing its ability to ensure socio-economic justice. Replying to a question during his press briefing, Information Minister Shibli Faraj said, politics of the opposition around, revolved around money, browbeating, and extortion. An investor invests money, wins elections, and then starts minting money after joining the government and patronizing various mafias, he said. The minister said the electoral process would remain controversial without transparency and openness. Right now, a battle is underway between two systems. The opposition is representing the evil side, and the government is leading the righteous forces, he added. Mr. Faraj said Senator-elect Syed Yusuf Razak had not even shown an iota of repent over surfacing of news about his son's bid to purchase votes in the recently held Senate elections. On the contrary, my father, Ahmad Faraj, would have disinherited me if I were involved in such dirty practices, he added. We will have to drive rule of law in the country as without it, progress and prosperity is impossible, he said. The minister said it seemed surprising to see PDM Chief Maulana Fazlur Rahman, who himself had been rejected by the people of his constituency, demanding the government to resign. The opposition was divided as a tug of war between Hamza Shabazz and Mariam Nawaz over who would succeed. Nawaz Sharif was on the way, while other component parties of the PDM had been hit by internal bickering, he added. He denied the impression that the opposition had the support of 51 senators and the government 48 during the last Senate polls. Scores of PMLN senators were elected as independents, he said. The ruling coalition's candidate, Sadiq Sancharani, would win the coveted post of Senate chairman, he added. While briefing the media about the cabinet's decision, the minister said an amendment bill to make the Senate Bank of State Bank of Pakistan, stronger and more autonomous had been approved. He said the draft State Bank of Pakistan Amendment Bill 2021, which would now be tabled before the Parliament, was aimed at ensuring the operational and administrative autonomy of the SBP and increasing its scope and powers. He said the SBP, as a regulator, was responsible to control inflation, but due to lacunas in the laws, it was unable to perform in an effective manner. The government, he added, wanted to further empower the Cabinet Bank so that it could take decisions independently without any outside interference. The past rulers used to get political advances by misusing the SBP's authority. The step to overpower the SBP would have a far-reaching impact on economy and help control inflation, the minister said. Mr. Faraj said the cabinet had approved in principle the draft law of Pakistan Institute of Education Act and sent it unto the Cabinet Committee of Legalization. of legislation. Under the approval law, Under the proposed law, a modern institute would be established by merging the Academy of Educational Planning and Management and the National Education Assessment System. The new institute would be responsible for managing the affairs of the educational institutes. He said the cabinet also approved the out of school children framework under which all factors and motivations that prevented the children from going to school would be examined. The framework also proposed strategies to bring out of school children back to school, he added. The cabinet, the minister said, also approved the procedure for distribution of donations provided by the government into the SARC COVID-19 Emergency Fund. It may be recalled that the cabinet had already approved the donation of $3 million to the fund. At the time of setting up the fund, it was decided to distribute donations through the SARC Secretariat, but later it was decided by the member countries to distribute the fund provided by each member on the bilateral basis. Therefore, the cabinet approved a new method of distribution of donations from Pakistan to the SARC fund. The minister said the cabinet also consented to the proposal of Minister for Science and Technology Chaudhry Fawaz Hussain that Pakistan should give COVID-19 related equipment being produced in the country as part of the grant. He said the cabinet appreciated the decision of Justice Azmat Said, the chairman of the Inquiry Commission on Broadsheet, of not availing any perks and privileges. He said the cabinet also approved Income Tax Amendment 2021, which was an important piece of legislation aimed at improving the tax network. Mr. Frost said the cabinet discussed reforms in state-owned enterprises (SOEs) and was informed about the steps taken in this regard. The cabinet was told that before the PTI government came to power, the SOEs had registered rupees 286 billion loss in the fiscal year 2017 to 2018, which was halved to rupees 143 billion in 2018 to 2019. He said the cabinet also gave approval to the summary of appointment of Aziz Ahmed as managing director of National Transmission and Dispatch Company, Fozia Khan as Director General of Pakistan Quality Control Authority, and Tariq Rashid as Director General of Government Employees Housing Authority. He said the cabinet also gave its nod and to the proposal of removing the chief executive officer of the Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan, Sheikh Akhtar Hussain, and appointment of Asim Rao as its acting CEO. The minister said the cabinet did not agree with the Sindh government's proposals regarding member finance in a National Electric Power Regulatory Authority (NEPRA) tribunal. He said the cabinet approved the appointment of members of the boards of governor of Sheikh Zayed Postgraduate Medical Institute and Jinnah Postgraduate Medical Center under the Federal Medical Teaching Institutes Ordinance. The cabinet was informed that the Bureau of Immigration and Overseas Employees had so far sent 1.1 million people abroad, the minister added. And in the end, the formal request, if you have not yet, please subscribe our channel and press the like and bell button to get the best from us. Thank you for watching. Have a nice time. Goodbye.